So I'm taking a little different angle tonight, or today we're going to talk about menu data, particularly. Overproof is a company that focuses on collection of data that can help you optimize your brand strategy for any market, very, very localized. So it doesn't matter if you want to, it's an old-fashioned, I guess, way of thinking that, for instance, California is a margarita market. That's still the case in San Diego only. LA, to my big surprise, looking at data, absolutely is not anymore. It's the fourth largest cocktail in California or in Los Angeles. San Francisco, not even close. Like it's a spritz, Negroni, and a martini market. So what we're going to talk about is like how to look differently at menu data as an example, something that we do. So post-pandemic, the entire industry went digital, right? We just talked about that. So menus are found everywhere. There are QR codes. There are all the e-commerce platforms that have data that you can use and find for your strategy to really understand, like, where should I focus with my brand? So to give you an example, I'm just going to talk you over how we look at a menu. And this is no surprise for most of you, I'm sure. So first, if you look at a menu, to just see if this is a bar that you want to focus on with your brand strategy, right? So what different categories or aspects of a menu do I see? What's the composition of a menu? So in this case, there's beer, there are cocktails, and there's a wine section, right? Then you can look at, okay, so are there specific cocktails that they're promoting? Is there an indication that they're pushing your eye to a part of the menu, right? So in this case, they put stars in front of the menu of the drinks, and also like there is some boxed out areas. What else is there to see? You can look at types of cocktails. Is it a classic cocktail list? Is it a twist on a classic? Do they like modern style cocktails? And that could help you figure out if that is something that you want to focus on, a specific type of menu you want to focus more on. So you could, for instance, look at like, how's my sales data? Like what type of bars am I selling to? And let's look at the menu data to then figure out, do they sell modern style or do they sell a specific classic cocktail? And can I, with my brand or brands, focus on those type of cocktails as a strategy? We also look at like family, so like mules, old fashions. So we index that, and then the way we look at this data is we kind of like we count brands literally. Like in this case, we're seeing Espolòn and Aperol in this cocktail. From cross-referencing to our databases, we can say like these are both spirits. One is an agave spirit, the other is a liqueur. But then they're both owned by Campari, and they're both distributed by Southern Wine. So with that information, what we do is like we literally count brands and count type of cocktails, and we can basically profile a bar specifically and bring that back in our case, our app. But you can also do this yourself. I mean, that's how I started actually. I just started to collect menus and ship it off to India for people, put it in an Excel file. And so you can look at data in a different way. So in this case, what you see here is like you see like who owns this bar. Like Southern Wine is the main distributor on this menu. If I'm with Southern Wine, this might be a good call for me. If I get a lot of pushback from Southern Wine focused or centered accounts, I may not want to focus on that bar or restaurant strategically because I'm just not being successful with my sales conversion there. So we take a step further. I'm not going to go in all detail what you're seeing here on the screen, but what you can do with this information, you can find the perfect profile of a menu. And in this case, what we're saying is like, if you want to find martinis, tell us you want to find martinis, and we'll literally give you a list of bars and restaurants in each market that you want to focus on. Like these 31 comply or are like one-on-one what you're looking for on a menu profile. So what I did is like I took Brooklyn. So what you see in this visualization here is like which brands are currently, this is today, on the menus represented. So this is an Amaro market, very tequila forward, bourbon is going on, and the bigger brands are the brands that are mostly found on menus right now in Brooklyn. Same, but then you can look and you can actually, if you can see in the top left, you see I put Chiconi's there. So what can I see here? I see a lot of Bacardi brands. So if I do well with Bacardi or some Bacardi brands, or I want to stay away from a bar that is heavily supported by Bacardi, I might not focus on Chiconi's here in Dumbo. For whatever reasons. The decisions are yours, but it's a way to look at the menu data. But also, like, what type of cocktails? So these I selected classics. I just wanted to see the classic. Margarita, this is a margarita market. Old fashions are happening here. Negronis and spritzes are next. In this case, you can you can even zone in like in specific brands if you want to understand what the competition is doing. If you want to go after the competition, stay away from the competition. It really, really is valuable to look at like who is on which menu, who owns which menu, and cross-reference that periodically with your sales. See how your velocity is doing. See how your loyalty, or do you get repeat orders? Try to understand, just isolate those, 50 bars or restaurants, and look at their menus. Understand what's happening, and then find more menus like that to focus on with your sales strategy. And we're seeing some of our customers like showing 30, sometimes even almost 40% better, more sales conversions in a similar period of time compared to when they were not using menu data in their focus strategy. Here's another, I wanted to show the MRO as well, so you can really just count the brands literally. So I wanted to leave it with that.